why is there a war in heaven?
Yeah.
Why is there a war in heaven? So the way it starts is in the book of Daniel. We learn in the Midrash that the prophet Daniel, his best friend was the Malach Gavriel. Malach Gavriel came to him and he said, there's a war in heaven and I needed extra strength, and the Kedusha, the holiness of Daniel, gave the angel Gavriel strength. So the Chachamim explain is that when man makes sins, those sins travel up like heat. Heat travels higher. Those sins travel higher. So for example, if you curse, you say a curse word, that curse goes somewhere. Where does it go? It goes to the clouds. Then the cloud rains. The curse comes back down. Where does it go? It goes inside the ground. Once it goes inside the ground, it goes into a seed. The seed turns into a watermelon. One day, some other guy eats the watermelon, and he doesn't think any reason, but after he eats the watermelon, he's in a bad mood and he curses. Why? There's a curse inside the watermelon. This is all Kabbalah. Not the direction we go to as far as the shiurim, but meaning what I'm trying to explain to you guys is that the world you see is not really the world. It's a version of it. It's a tiny microscopic version of it. What is it like? If you look, for example, at anything. Look at anything. The desk, the book, anything. Your finger. Look at your finger. Okay, everybody thinks that they know, there's a saying. I know like the back of my hand. Most people don't even know what the back of the hand looks like. But let's say you know it. Or you look at your hand. You look at your hand, you think you remember your hand. You have a couple of stripes here and a couple of stripes here, and you know what your hand looks like, right? But then, take a microscope and then look at your hand. And you see it's like worlds apart. You start seeing things move, especially if it's a high level. Start seeing things move, the cells are moving, this guy's going to Chinatown, this guy's going to Vegas, the other guy's on vacation, he's not moving at all, the other guy died, the other guy is getting married. There's a whole civilization inside what? The tiny little microscopic point on top of your finger. There's a whole thing moving. So there's actually a very, very interesting analogy and way that they explain it in the book by Rabbi Zamir Cohen, The Coming Revolution, or Science Comes of Age. It's the same book, just different names. At the end of the book, look into it. It's very, very interesting of how cells work. The point is that the world is, to some extent, like that. You see very simple version of it, but really what it is closer to how your finger looks like under the microscope. There's a lot more moving parts that you cannot see. So, a man makes actions. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. Those good and bad go somewhere. Where is there? They go in Shamayim. If the nation or a person or whatever it is does something, it goes. Once there's a well of good and bad that gets filled, that gives power to the angels of the nations. If Am Yisrael does good, then the angel Gabriel gets strength to beat the other nations. No one's going to mess with Am Yisrael. If we make a lot of sins, Shem Erachem, then the other nations get power. And their Malach gets power. Their angel gets power. As soon as he gets power, where he feels they can beat Malach Gabriel, they start fighting. They didn't start fighting because they don't like each other. It's not like here. Meaning they're fighting for power, and that could lead to, once they fight, then it leads to fights down here. The point is, Rabotai, we're not going to go into the intricate details of this, not that I know all of this, but nonetheless, nothing happens for no reason. That's really the point. Everything has a reason. Everything.